I've been thinking about this a lot lately, sitting here in the quiet moments between everything else. And I keep coming back to this truth that feels so simple yet so impossibly vast at the same time. It's like when you're looking at the ocean and you know intellectually how deep it goes, but standing there with your feet in the sand, feeling that water pull at your ankles, you realize you can't really comprehend it all. That's what this is. That's what you are to me. I love you. And I know those three words get thrown around sometimes carelessly, sometimes desperately. But when I say them to you, I mean them in a way that encompasses every version of myself that has ever existed and every version that will exist in the future. I love you with the part of me that's still that kid who believed in magic. And I love you with the part of me that's learned how hard the world can be. I love you with my past, my present, and whatever time I have left on this earth. You know, I've played characters who have loved, who've lost, who fought through impossible odds to find their way back to the person who makes them whole. And every single time I thought I understood what that meant, I thought I could tap into that feeling, channel it, make it real for the camera. But then I met you and I realized I'd been drawing from imagination, from observation, from the echo of something I'd never actually experienced. Because what we have, what you've given me just by existing in my world, this is beyond anything I could have conjured up or pretended to feel. I can't live without you. And I know how that sounds. I know it sounds dependent or maybe even unhealthy to some people who'd say we should be complete on our own, that another person shouldn't define our existence. But that's not what I mean. I'm not saying I'd cease to function or that I wouldn't survive if you weren't here. What I'm saying is that life without you would be like living in a world where color had been drained away. I could still see, still move through my days, still breathe and work and exist, but everything would be muted, everything would be less. Before you, I was going through the motions in a lot of ways. I had my work, my routine, my friends, my interests. I had a life that from the outside probably looked full and meaningful. And maybe it was in its own way, but it was like I was living in two dimensions. And you came along and suddenly there was depth to everything. Suddenly I understood what people meant when they talked about coming alive, about really feeling things, about moments that take your breath away. Not because they're dramatic or extraordinary, but because they're shared with someone who sees you, really sees you in all your messy, imperfect humanity. I think about the future constantly now, and that's new for me. I've always been someone who tries to stay present, to appreciate the moment I'm in, rather than always looking ahead. But with you, I can't help it. I think about mornings waking up next to you, about coffee brewing while we're still half asleep, about the way the light will come through whatever windows we end up looking through together. I think about cooking dinner together, about you laughing at my attempts to follow a recipe, about how we'll probably order takeout half the time because we got too distracted talking to actually pay attention to what was on the stove. I think about traveling with you, showing you places I love and discovering new ones together. I imagine us in some small Italian village, completely lost because neither of us remembered to charge our phone, and the map we bought is confusing, but we're laughing about it, making it an adventure instead of a disaster. I see us hiking through forests, sitting on beaches, wandering through museums where you point out details I never would have noticed. I see us experiencing the world together. And in my vision, it's not about the destinations. It's about having you next to me, seeing things through your eyes, understanding that whatever we encounter is better because we're encountering it together. I imagine the quiet moments too, maybe even more than the adventures. I imagine rainy Sundays where we don't leave the house, where we read or watch movies or just talk for hours about nothing and everything. I imagine being comfortable enough with you that silence isn't awkward, that we can just exist in the same space without needing to fill every moment with words. I imagine learning your rhythms, your moods, the little things that make you happy or frustrated or contemplative. I want to know you in all your seasons, through all your changes as we both grow and evolve. And I want to be there for the hard parts too, because I know life isn't just beautiful sunsets and perfect moments. There will be days when things go wrong, when we're stressed or scared or grieving. There will be arguments and misunderstandings. Times when we hurt each other without meaning to. Times when the world feels too heavy to carry. And I want to be there for all of it. I want to be the person you turn to when things fall apart. The one who holds you when you're crying, who sits with you in the dark times and doesn't try to fix everything but just stays present, just remains steady. I've learned something about love over the years through observation and experience and sometimes painful lessons. Love isn't just the butterflies and the romance and the grand gestures, though those things are wonderful. Real love, lasting love, is choosing someone every single day. It's waking up and deciding that yes, this is the person I want to build a life with. This is the person whose happiness matters as much as my own. This is the person I'll fight for and with and beside. It's commitment not just in the abstract, but in the daily, mundane, beautiful routine of life. And I choose you. I will choose you tomorrow and the day after that and every day that follows. I'll choose you when it's easy and when it's hard, when we're laughing together and when we're working through something difficult. I'll choose you on the boring Tuesday afternoons and the exciting Saturday nights. I'll choose you when we're young and when we're old, when our bodies change and our circumstances shift and life throws us curveballs we never saw coming. You've changed me in ways I'm still discovering. You've made me want to be better, not because you've asked me to change or because you're disappointed in who I am, but because you inspire me. You make me want to be the kind of person who deserves your love, who's worthy of your trust. You make me want to be the kind of person who can build the kind of life with you that you dream about. You've made me braver, in some ways willing to be vulnerable, to open up, to let someone really know me, and that's terrifying and exhilarating all at once. I think about the home we'll build together, and I don't just mean the physical space, though I imagine that too. I imagine us picking out furniture together, arguing good-naturedly about whether that couch is really the right color, creating a space that's uniquely ours. But more than that, I think about the emotional home we'll create, the safety we'll provide for each other. I want our relationship to be a refuge, a place where we can both be completely ourselves without fear of judgment, where we can be silly or serious, strong or vulnerable, where we're accepted and loved for exactly who we are. I want to support your dreams with everything I have. Whatever you want to accomplish, wherever your passions lead you, I want to be your biggest cheerleader and your most reliable support system. If you want to change careers, I'll encourage you. If you want to go back to school, I'll help you study. If you want to start a business or write a book or learn a new skill, I'll be there asking about your progress and celebrating your victories and helping you through the setbacks. Your success is my success because we're a team. Because what makes you happy and fulfilled makes me happy and fulfilled. And I hope you'll do the same for me. Not because I need you to push me or because I can't stand on my own, but because everything is better when shared with someone who cares. I want to tell you about my day and have you actually listen, actually engage, actually care about the small details. I want to share my worries and my hopes, my failures and my triumphs, knowing that you'll celebrate with me and comfort me and give me perspective when I need it. I love the way you see the world. You notice things I miss. You find beauty in unexpected places. You approach situations with a kindness and openness that amazes me. You've taught me to slow down, to pay attention, to appreciate the small moments that make up a life. Before you, I was always rushing to the next thing, always focused on what was coming instead of what was right in front of me. But you've helped me understand that life is happening now, in these moments we're living, and that missing them in favor of some imagined future is a tragedy. I think about having a family with you if that's something you want. I imagine the home we'd create for children, the values we'd instill, the love we'd give. I imagine you as a mother. And even though I know parenting is exhausting and challenging and nothing like the romanticized version we see in movies, I can't help but see the beauty in it. I imagine late nights with a crying baby, both of us exhausted but working together. I imagine teaching a kid to ride a bike or helping with homework or having those difficult conversations about life and choices and consequences. I imagine watching you nurture and guide and love these small humans we'd create together. And my heart feels so full it could burst. And if children aren't in our future, if that's not the path we choose, or if life takes us in a different direction, that's okay too. Because what I want more than any specific vision of the future is a future with you in it. However that looks, whatever shape it takes, as long as we're together, as long as we're building something meaningful and true, I'll be grateful. You know, I've experienced grief in my life. I've lost people I loved, people who shaped me, people who left holes in the world when they departed. And that grief taught me something important about love. It taught me that the depth of our pain when we lose someone is directly proportional to how much we love them, how much they mattered, how fully they inhabited our hearts and lives. And knowing that loving you means opening myself up to the possibility of that kind of loss someday, I still choose it. I choose to love you completely, to let you matter this much. I choose it because the alternative, protecting myself by loving less or holding back, would mean missing out on the most profound experience of my life. Every day with you is a gift I don't take for granted. Even the ordinary days, the ones where nothing special happens, where we just exist, side by side doing mundane tasks and living regular life. Those are precious to me because they're days with you. Because your presence turns the mundane into something meaningful. Because knowing I'll see you at the end of a long day, that I'll get to hear your voice and see your smile and fall asleep next to you. That makes everything else worthwhile. I love the way you laugh. Really laugh when something genuinely amuses you. I love the way you concentrate. When you're focused on something, the way you bite your lip or furrow your brow. I love your kindness, the way you treat people with dignity and respect regardless of who they are or what they can do for you. I love your strength, the way you handle challenges with grace, even when I know you're struggling. I love your vulnerability, the moments when you let me see your fears and insecurities, trusting me with the parts of yourself you don't show the world. I love how you challenge me, how you don't just agree with everything I say, but have your own opinions and perspectives that make me think differently. I love how you make me laugh, how you can lighten my mood even when I'm weighed down by stress or worry. I love how you understand silence, how you know when I need to talk and when I just need someone to sit with me. I love how you fit into my life so seamlessly that I can't remember. I love how you fit into my life so seamlessly that I can't remember what things were like before you. Can't imagine a version of my future that doesn't include you, my future wife. Even thinking those words fills me with emotion I can barely articulate. My wife, my partner, my person, the one I'll stand beside and build a life with. The one who will know me better than anyone else ever has or will. The one who will see me at my worst and love me anyway. The one who will celebrate with me at my best and keep me grounded. The one who will age with me, who will navigate this strange and beautiful journey of life beside me. I promise to love you faithfully, not just in the sense of romantic or physical fidelity, though that goes without saying, but in the sense of being faithful to who you are and who we are together. I promise to never try to change the fundamental things that make you who you are, even if sometimes those things frustrate me or challenge me. I promise to grow with you rather than apart from you, to communicate even when it's hard, to fight fair when we disagree, to never let anger or pride keep me from apologizing when I'm wrong or forgiving when you are. I promise to keep pursuing you even after we're married, to never take you for granted or assume that the work of love is done just because we've made a commitment. I promise to keep dating you, surprising you, showing you that you matter. I promise to pay attention to what makes you feel loved, and to do those things even when life gets busy or stressful. I promise to make our relationship a priority, not just in words, but in actions. I promise to make our relationship a priority, not just in words, but in actions, in how I spend my time and energy and attention. I promise to be honest with you, even when the truth is difficult or uncomfortable. I promise to trust you with my real thoughts and feelings, to not hide behind walls or masks, to let you know the authentic me in all my complexity. I promise to create a space where you feel safe doing the same, where you never have to pretend or perform, where you can be completely yourself. I promise to take care of myself physically and mentally and emotionally, because you deserve a partner who's whole and healthy, who's doing the work to grow and heal and become a better person. I promise to go to therapy when I need it, to address my issues and baggage. I promise to go to therapy when I need it, to address my issues and baggage, to not expect you to fix me or complete me, but to come to our relationship as someone actively engaged in their own growth and healing. I promise to respect your independence, your individual dreams and goals, your need for space and time with friends and interests outside of us. I promise to not make you the sole source of my happiness or fulfillment, to maintain my own identity while also building our shared life. I promise to encourage you to pursue your fullest self, to pursue what calls to you, to never hold you back out of fear or insecurity. I promise to be patient with you and with us, to understand that relationships are not static but evolving, that we will both change over the years, and that's not only okay but necessary. I promise to stay curious about you, to keep asking questions and learning new things, to never assume I know everything there is to know. I promise to adapt as we both grow, to renegotiate and recommit as our lives and circumstances change. I can't promise that everything will always be easy or that we'll never struggle. I can't promise that I'll never mess up or hurt you or fall short of who I want to be. I'm human, flawed, and imperfect, still learning and growing. But I can promise that I'll try. I can promise that when I fail, I'll own it and work to do better. I can promise that I'll never stop choosing you, never stop working on us, never stop believing that what we have is worth fighting for. You are my home in the truest sense of that word. You're where I belong. You're where I belong, where I'm understood, where I can rest. You're my safe harbor in storms and my companion in sunshine. You're the person I want to tell everything to, the first person I think of when something good or bad happens. You're my best friend and my love, my confidant, my partner. I can't live without you because you've become essential to who I am and who I want to be. You've woven yourself into the fabric of my life so completely that removing you would unravel everything, and I don't want to live without you. I don't want to experience the world alone when I could experience it with you. I don't want to face challenges by myself when I could face them with you beside me. I don't want to celebrate victories in solitude when I could share them with you. I don't want to grow old watching from the sidelines when I could grow old holding your hand. So I'm asking you, I'm promising you, I'm committing to you with everything I have. Build this life with me. Create this future with me. Be my wife, my partner, my person for whatever time we're given on this earth. Let's make something beautiful together, something real and lasting and true. Let's support each other and challenge each other and love each other through all of it. I love you. I love you with a depth and certainty that still surprises me sometimes. I love you today and I love you tomorrow, and I love you for all the tomorrows after that. You're my present and my future, my joy and my peace, my adventure and my home, and I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life showing you. And I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life showing you every single day just how much you mean to me. You know, there's something profound about realizing that the person you love has fundamentally altered your understanding of what it means to be alive. I used to think I had a handle on things, that I understood the contours of my own life and what I wanted from it. I had goals and dreams, sure, but they were mine alone, existing in this solitary space where I was the only variable that mattered. And then you appeared and suddenly everything shifted. Suddenly my dreams included someone else. And far from feeling like a compromise or a limitation, it felt like an expansion, like my world had doubled in size, in color, in possibility. I find myself thinking about the small things constantly. The way you hum sometimes when you're doing something mundane, not even aware you're doing it. The way you scrunch up your nose when you're concentrating or when you don't like something. The way you move through a room. The specific rhythm of your footsteps. The way I can tell it's you approaching even before I see you. These tiny details that might seem insignificant to anyone else. They're everything to me. They're the texture of my daily life now, the background music to my existence, and I've memorized them like a favorite song I never want to forget. I think about how you've changed my relationship with time itself. Before you, I was always aware of time passing in this vague, slightly anxious way. Another year gone, another birthday, another reminder that life is finite and fleeting, but with you, time feels different. Yes, I'm still aware that our days are numbered, that none of us knows how long we have. But instead of that awareness making me anxious, it makes me grateful. It makes me want to be present for every moment we share. It makes me understand what people mean when they say that quality matters more than quantity, though I'm greedy enough to want both with you. Every moment with you feels stolen from fate in the best possible way, like somehow against all odds in this vast universe with billions of people we found each other. Do you ever think about that? How many small decisions and accidents and coincidences had to align for us to meet? How many near misses there might have been alternate timelines where we passed each other unknowingly or never crossed paths at all? It feels miraculous sometimes. The sheer improbability of us, and it makes me want to honor that, to never waste the gift we've been given. I want to know everything about you, even the things you think are boring or unimportant. I want to know about your childhood, the games you played, the imaginary worlds you created. I want to know about your first heartbreak, your biggest fear, the dream you had last night that you'll probably forget by this afternoon. I want to know what foods comfort you, what songs make you cry, what memories you return to when you need to feel grounded. I want to know your opinions on things that don't matter at all. I want to know your opinions on things that don't matter at all in the grand scheme of things because they matter to you, which means they matter to me. And I want you to know me in the same way. I want to be transparent with you, to let you see into all the corners of my mind and heart, even the ones I usually keep hidden. I want you to understand where I come from, what shaped me, what scares me, what drives me. I want to be known by you in a way I've never been known by anyone else. And I want that knowing to be a two-way street, a constant exchange of honesty and vulnerability and trust. I've been thinking about legacy lately, about what we leave behind when we're gone. And I've realized that what I want to leave behind is us. And I've realized that what I want to leave behind more than anything is a love story that was real and true and worth telling. Not a perfect story because perfection is impossible and frankly uninteresting, but a story about two people who found each other and chose each other and built something meaningful together. I want our love to be the kind that people remember, not because it was dramatic or tragic, but because it was genuine, because it showed up in the everyday moments, in the small kindnesses and the consistent choices to prioritize each other and us. I want us to be the couple that people look at after decades together and wonder how we've kept that spark alive. And the secret, I think, is choosing. And the secret, I think, is that it's not about keeping a spark alive as much as it's about consistently rekindling it, about making the choice to tend to our relationship like a garden that needs regular attention and care. It's about not taking each other for granted, about staying curious and engaged, about doing the work even when it's not particularly exciting or romantic. There will be phases of life that test us, I know that. Phases where we're exhausted from work or parenting or caregiving or just the general weight of adult responsibilities. Phases where we're dealing with loss or illness or financial stress or any of the countless challenges life throws at people. And in those phases, we stay. And in those phases, It would be easy to let our relationship slide, to put it on the back burner while we deal with whatever crisis is demanding our immediate attention. But I want us to resist that temptation. I want us to remember that our relationship is not just something nice to have when times are good, but the foundation that will carry us through when times are hard. I promise to fight for us even when the enemy is just life's relentless busyness, or my own tendency to withdraw when stressed, or the million small ways that couples can drift apart without meaning to. I promise to notice when we're getting disconnected and to do something about it to suggest a date night or a weekend away. I promise to notice when we're getting disconnected and to do something about it to suggest a date night or a weekend away, or even just an hour of uninterrupted conversation. I promise to not let resentments build up, to address issues when they're small rather than waiting until they've grown into something bigger and harder to manage. I promise to laugh with you, to find humor even in difficult situations, to not take everything so seriously that we forget to enjoy our life together. I've learned that laughter is not just a pleasant bonus in a relationship, but a necessary ingredient, a way of staying connected and lightening the load, and reminding ourselves that despite everything, we have us. And reminding ourselves that despite everything, we still have each other, and that's enough. I think about growing old with you. And while I know aging brings its challenges and losses, I'm not afraid of it because I'll have you beside me. I think about us in our 70s or 80s, still holding hands, still making each other laugh, still finding new things to talk about after decades of conversation. I think about looking at your face and seeing all our years together written there. Every laugh line of memory, every gray hair earned. I think about how beautiful you'll be to me at every age, because my love for you isn't dependent on youth or appearance, but on who you are, the soul that inhabits you, the soul that inhabits that body, the person I've chosen and will keep choosing. I want to take care of you when you're sick, when you're struggling, when you need someone to lean on. I want to be the person you trust with your pain, who you know will show up and stay present even when things are messy or uncomfortable. I want to sit with you in hospital waiting rooms if it comes to that, to hold your hand through scary medical procedures, to be your advocate when you're too tired or overwhelmed to advocate for yourself. I want to be your soft place to land, your safe harbor, your constant, and I want to let you do the same for me. I want to let you see me when I'm vulnerable. I want to let you see me when I'm vulnerable, when I'm struggling, when I need help. I want to resist the urge to pretend I have it all together, to acknowledge that I need you, that your support and presence and love actually matter, that they make a difference in how I move through the world. I want to give you the gift of being needed, of knowing that you make my life better in concrete and specific ways. I love how you've made me more aware of the world around me, more attuned to beauty and suffering and the full spectrum of human experience. You've made me want to be more engaged, more present, more compassionate. You've made me want to contribute something positive to leave the world. You've made me want to contribute something positive to leave the world a little better than I found it. Not for abstract, idealistic reasons, but because I want our children or the people who know us to see that love can be generative, that it can extend beyond the two people experiencing it to touch others. I imagine us volunteering together, working on causes we care about, using whatever resources and privilege we have to make a difference. I imagine us being the kind of couple that creates community, that opens our home to friends and family, that makes people feel welcome and valued. I imagine us being generous, not just with money, but with time and attention and genuine interest in others. I imagine us modeling a kind of relationship that gives people hope, that shows them partnership can be real and lasting and good. You've taught me about patience in ways I didn't expect. Patience with myself, with my own process of growth and change. patience with you, understanding that you're on your own journey and that's not always going to align perfectly with mine, patience with our relationship, trusting that we don't have to have everything figured out right now, that we can build our life together one day at a time, one choice at a time, one moment at a time. I used to be so impatient, always rushing toward the next thing, always focused on achievement and progress and forward momentum. But you've helped me understand that some things can't be rushed, that growth happens in its own time, that the journey actually matters as much as the destination. You've helped me slow down and appreciate where we are right now, even as we move toward our future together. I love the rituals we've already started creating, the small traditions that are becoming uniquely ours. Whatever they are, morning coffee together, or evening walks, or Sunday breakfast in bed, or the way we say goodnight. These rituals matter to me. They're the scaffolding of our shared life, the repeated moments that create stability and continuity. And I want to keep creating in them to build a rich shared life. I want to keep creating in them to build a rich tapestry of traditions and habits and shared experiences that are distinctly ours. I want to celebrate you not just on obvious occasions like birthdays and anniversaries, but randomly, spontaneously, for no reason other than I'm grateful you exist. I want to bring you flowers on a Tuesday, to write you notes to tell you specifically what I appreciate about you. I want you to never wonder whether I still love you, whether I still choose you, whether you still matter to me, because I want to make it abundantly clear through my words and actions that you are my priority. When I think about the word wife, I think about partnership in truth. When I think about the word wife, I think about partnership in its truest sense. Not someone who exists to support my life, but someone who is building a shared life with me. Someone whose dreams and goals are as important as mine. Someone who has equal say in the decisions we make and the direction we move in. I want us to be teammates, working together toward common goals while also supporting each other's individual aspirations. I want us to have each other's backs always, even when we disagree about how to approach something. I promise to respect you, even in moments of anger or frustration. I promise to never belittle you or make you feel small, to never use knowledge as a weapon. I promise to never use the intimate knowledge I have of you as a weapon during arguments. I promise to fight fair, to focus on the issue at hand rather than bringing up past grievances, to take responsibility for my part in conflicts rather than just pointing fingers. I promise to be willing to apologize sincerely and to forgive genuinely. I promise to keep pursuing my own growth and healing, to not become stagnant or complacent. I promise to read and learn and challenge myself, to stay curious about the world and my place in it. I promise to work on my issues, to address my patterns and tendencies that aren't serving me or us. I promise to be a partner who is active in us. I promise to be a partner who is actively engaged in becoming a better person, not because you've asked me to, but because I want to show up as my best self for you and for us. You make me want to be brave. Brave enough to be vulnerable, to admit when I'm scared or uncertain. Brave enough to try new things, to step outside my comfort zone, to take risks in pursuit of a richer, fuller life. Brave enough to love openly and fully despite knowing that love always involves risk, that opening your heart means accepting the possibility of hurt. You make me believe that the risk is worth it. I love you and I am choosing you now and forever. Build this life with me, always.